Okay, so here's that warm-up I was talking about. I'm just going to play the full scale of a G major scale in the box position. So a 6-string G major scale starting on the 3rd fret. So that fingering is 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, 4th finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string, and then 1st finger on the 2nd fret, 2nd fret of the 5th string, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, pinky on 5th fret of the 5th string, then you'd go to the 4th string, 1, 3, 4 pattern, 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, 4th finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string, and then another 1, 3, 4. So that's 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, pinky on 5th fret of the 3rd string, then a 2, 4 on the 2nd string. So that's 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, pinky on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, and then finally a 1, 2, 4 on the 1st string here. 1st finger on F sharp on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, 2nd finger on the G on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then finally pinky on the 5th fret of the 1st string. So the scale shape, again, backwards is cool. So make sure you have that under your fingers before you attempt this exercise. But now we're going to go through all the modes of that scale in position. So all that means is we're just going to practice starting on a different note every time, but we're still going to use this scale shape. But it's important to practice that to get your mind to be more aware of the different scale degrees and what they sound like. So it really helps to go through all the modes in a single position to sort of discover new ways to play and sort of new ideas within a scale. So here we go. We're going to start with Ionian mode with the actual G major. So we'll do it about this fast. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and here we go now. Now we do Dorian. 1, 2, 3, now. So you noticed all I did was, instead of playing the scale from here to here and starting here and stopping here, I started here and stopped here. So now you'll notice that one we didn't have to shift for, but you'll notice that as I go up, if I start here on the next one, I'm going to have to find that's a B natural on the 2nd fret of the A string. To find that on the 1st string, I'm going to have to go up here to the 7th fret. So it's going to require on the top end, when you do this exercise, that you shift. Now, I'll show you the way to shift. Basically, there's some freedom in it, but the pattern you're going to want is basically this. Shift all on the 1st string. You have that 1, 2, 4 in the 2nd position, like you actually play in the scale. Then after that, imagine a shift from the 1st finger here all the way up to the 7th fret on that string, and then you play a 1, 3, 4. First finger on the 7th fret, 3rd finger on the 9th fret, pinky on the 10th. And then from there you're going to shift and do another 1, 3, 4. If you need those, which you will. To do the next octave of G, you would need that one. So there's a reason I don't use Segovia scales for this or anything, like scales where we're whatever form of it you want to use, where you shift on different strings. That's one way to do it. I think that way is very important too. But this way, I think, is the most simple and most versatile way that everybody should at least know, because you can get a lot of mileage out of one position on the guitar, and shifting on one string sort of simplifies things, I think, when you're improvising. The notes that you need to access, you just end up, reaching up for them real quick, and it's not an issue. And if you do need to shift a position, you can, but and you often do. In improvising, I find myself, once I shift, I sort of stay up there. I don't always go back down immediately, so it's not a problem to shift on one string if you know the other positions. Which we won't cover in this video, but it's not a bad thing to shift on one string, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now again the shift pattern is 1, 2, 4 on the first string, and then shift with the first finger up to the 7th fret. So this is scale the re7 to 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're going to play it like this. 1, 2, 3, shift. 7, 1, 2, scale the re3, scale the re4, scale the re5, and then shift once more. First finger on the 12th fret of the first string now, and you play another 1, 3, 4. First finger on the 12th fret, third finger on the 14th, pinky on the 15th, which is the same as down here. Okay. So, whenever you shift, you don't have to use that, but if you have to go all the way to the top, that's the one you'll want to use. I think it's the easiest and the most efficient. It's and the easiest to remember. It's 2 shifts, both a whole step. That's 2 frets. It's 2 frets up for your pinky is what I mean. So the note you end on, you have to measure 2 frets. That's not that far to measure. And you only have to keep track of one size measurement, because this one is also, after you play this, 7th fret, 8th fret, 10th fret, this is 12th fret is also 2 away from the pinky, and that's where the first finger goes there. Same thing when you come down, pinky crosses. I don't care about classical technique that tells you not to shift down onto the pinky, onto a weak finger. That's stupid. If your pinky's strong enough, then this is no problem, okay? So, 4, 3, 1, shift down to pinky on 10th, and then again shift down to pinky on 5th. Now if you're going to play, for example, the Phrygian mode like this one, then that note would be the top note, and I might not, if it's just grabbing one note, I'm probably not going to shift my first finger for it. I'd probably just do this. A quick sort of, I call this almost like a thumb shift. I don't know if you can see this, where like I sort of just throw my wrist up for the 1 or 2 notes that I need, however much I can get, but there's a limit to that. So that's why, the elbow shifts are still important. Picking the thumb up and putting it on a new place on the neck, that's still an important skill to practice, but it's not the be-end all of shifting. So you don't have to shift up if it's just one note with the thumb. You can just throw the pinky for it. So that's what we're going to do on the Phrygian scale. We're just going to throw the pinky up for it. So the first finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then 2nd finger goes on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Pinky goes on, same thing, just like that scale shape, right? So all it is this. And we're just starting now on the 3rd note of the scale, which is the B natural on the 2nd fret here. So here we go. We're going to start this one. 1 and 2, and here we go. And now same thing up here. I probably will not shift for the Lydian mode. I probably still will not do a full new thumb position shift. I would probably still just throw my pinky up for one more note since it's only a half step away. So let's do that one now. Lydian. And then when you come back, it's the same thing, just slide down. So 2 pinky shifts in a row, again, not something that bothers me as a player. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. I had some flub notes on that one. Let's try that one again. Oh, and again. Sharp 4. Here we go. Cool. Now, Mixolydian, I probably will shift for this one. So we're starting on a pinky. I like these ones especially, okay? I really think it's very helpful to know pinky roots, to think of roots in terms of different parts of the hand, so that you're not always thinking home base, tonic note is in my first finger. That's not always useful. Okay, so it's not always going to be the case that you're going to find tonic underneath the first finger. It might be over here. So that's why practicing these positions is very important. And this is another one, Mixolydian on the 5th string. Very useful, because oftentimes you will want first finger on the tonic, but maybe for the 5 chord, it's much more practical to use 3rd finger on the root or even pinky if you're doing an arpeggio. So, and you can watch my other videos on how to do the arpeggios for the scale. That's a different topic, but point is, I like the pinky roots one. So let's do Mixolydian now, and we probably will shift like 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, because the high note here is the pinky and the shift. So now it's worth shifting because I do all 3 notes out of the shift. Alright, here we go. Mixolydian. 1 and 2, and here we go. Good. Now, Aeolian, also called natural minor. First finger root on the 4th string here. And now we will shift to the second one, and we probably from here, to get the E natural on the 12th fret, we probably will just, again, it's just only 1 note in the next shift, so it's not worth it yet. So we'll just grab it with pinky by throwing our thumb up again. Here we go. Aeolian, E minor, E natural minor. 1 and 2 and ready, go. And the final one, which we will definitely, we probably should do the shift for, just because it's sort of a whole step instead of a half step, like on the Lydian mode. So in Lydian, when we did this, that next one, that second shift is only a half step. I do sort of draw the line at 2 shifts in a row that are both whole steps, though. I don't necessarily like that, even in the higher positions. So when we do this, when we do Locrian mode, which is the root on the 4th string on the 4th fret with the 3rd finger, you start here, just play this through the same scale position again. Oops. Okay, now we do this shift. And then here, I probably would do this. Would shift to 1 and 3 there. Because this is, I don't like doing 2 whole step shifts with a pinky in a row. A whole step plus a half step is okay, but that seems to be the best way to do that, I find. Good, so let's play Locrian now, where we shift up for that when we do 2 notes out of the actual repositioning the thumb on the next shift. Here we go. 1 and 2 and Locrian, go. 1 and 2. Good. And then now we do the final 3rd octave, the entire 2nd octave rather of or the entire third octave if we were going to do a third octave scale with only shifting on the first string. So now it's pinky on the root, on the G, on the fifth string, on the fourth string, pardon. And we're going all the way to pinky, now shift to grab the G out of the, on the last shift there. 1, 3, 4. Cool, here we go. 1 and 2, and here we go. And that's all of them. Okay, so let's do them all real quick in a row. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Hesitated a little bit on one. Well, let's do all the descents. Okay, that is a very important skill, to be able to do that as a guitarist, I believe. I think that's very, very important. Everybody should master that. Oh, you can tell I haven't... Every guitarist, the descents are always harder, right? I don't know why we just accidentally don't practice descents as much as we do ascents. It's a very strange phenomena of musical practice. We just get addicted to going up with scales. It's like this energizing feeling. We get used to practicing it that way. Always practice descents just as much.